Simon, first and foremost, how much confidence, belief do you take out of last Sunday against the reigning premiers?
Yeah, look, obviously it's a moment where the group grow and they get belief, and I think that's right through the club. And obviously, as I spoke about a few weeks ago, when you're embarking on change can be difficult. But so you're looking for evidence to keep showing that you're heading in the right direction, and last week was a bit of evidence of that. And people will grow. We've really been just purely focused on getting our days and our weeks right, and that won't change. We want to keep improving as the year goes on and keep trying to be the best we can, and that's our sole focus. Last week was just an indication that we're making some progress, but we know we've still got a lot of work to do.
What were you most impressed with in the win?
Oh, the grit. There were big parts of the game where we were down by 3 or 4 goals and then had to come back, and we got within 2 goals, and then Brisbane would get back out to a 4-goal lead, and just for our ability for our guys to hang in there, adjust to the game and what it needed, and ultimately fix the biggest issue in the game. And it took the end of the game to get that right, and once we got that right, the game shifted significantly.
There's been heaps of noise about sort of the fourth quarter fade out, so to speak. Is that something you'd worked on in the lead up to it, or? Yeah,
look, we have a firm belief that we can win any quarter and that we've done the work, and if we work hard unconditionally that we'll get our rewards, and that hadn't come out in the season so far, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And on the weekend we showed that it's not the capacity thing, it's a belief thing, and we believe we can win any quarter, and we came out on the weekend and had 12 shots at goal and finished the game off really strongly.
Now you've got the other grand finalists from last year, the Sydney Swans, on Sunday. What do you make of their game?
Yeah, look, probably in a very similar position. They're building, into the year. In the last 3 weeks, they've won, 2 of their last 3. They're starting to really get some personnel back, and they're starting to really grow their game, and you can see their game evolving. They're a highly talented side. When you're playing the Sydney Swans, it's a tough game of footy, and we expect no different this weekend.
Where does Clayton go? Is he tagging role? Do you let the leash off him? Or?
Oh, look, he's we've loved what he's been able to do. He's really invested in what the team's about, and that's the first and foremost, and he's growing his game off the back of that. So they've got some pretty handy players, obviously, Heaney and Warner, that have had significant impact in games, and we'll certainly sit down and work out what's best in that space, but we're loving what Clayton's doing for us.
Clayton or not, do you throw the tag at Isaac Heaney, or is it Chad Warner? Or?
Oh, look, we're going to work through that later today, but clearly they've got some guys that are having a huge impact in the game. You spoke of 2 of them there, but they've also got some other damaging players in different positions. So we need to be really clear of our strategy, but clearly we're going to have plans for Heaney and Warner. They're two guys that are having a significant impact on the game.
I'm not sure if you listened to Petracca's press comments the other day. He's pretty open and honest. How good is it to see him back to his best and back in love with this footy club? Yeah, look, I've known obviously Christian since he started, and he's got that real infectious personality, and it's just great to see him right back feeling really comfortable and playing his best footy. He's a real barometer around our change rooms. He makes everyone laugh and brings so much joy to our club, and I think it's testament to his career that he's been able to be a part of a club which was at a complete rebuild when he first got there, to see it through to this journey. And you can just see the level of excitement now that we're in this little transitioning phase to really grow again, and he wants to be at the forefront of that, and it's credit to what he's been able to give this footy club, and we're hoping all our supporters rock up on the weekend. It's a big game, a great milestone for Christian. We're expecting 50,000 on a bright sunny day to come and enjoy it. Absolutely. A bit of external talk about Jacob Vanree. It's been pretty critical. He's a 4th-year player, 21, 22 years old. Do you think it's a bit unfair to talk around him?
It is. He's a key forward that's developing his game, and there's not too many dominant key forwards at his age that are having as much impact as what he's been able to have in his first 45 games of footy. He's going through a little patch now where he's growing his game to a different level. And we've really got huge belief that he's going to be able to do that and take our footy club forward. And he's going to be a Melbourne player for a long, long time. And everyone will look at the short term and where it is right now. He's part of our long-term future, and he's going to be a big part of it moving forward.
How important is Jack Melksham at the moment? Obviously, last year battled injury all year, but he's come back, kicked 4 goals on the weekend. It seems like he's really up and about.
Yeah, he is. He's a leader. He's got an incredible forward craft and nous and understands the game incredibly well. So his just leadership and his ability to influence the game is significant for us. And he played a really important role last week on Harris Andrews. He's able to play those roles and get the job done for us. So he's an important player, as we have many, but he's someone that at his age and his experience provides our forward line with something pretty unique.
Speaking of age and experience, there's a special guest here today, Des, 102. Pretty crazy to have him still hanging around the footy club. Yeah,
look, he's our oldest living player, 102, Des Bell, and he comes out every year on his birthday and celebrates. And the one thing he always says is, "I'm going to hang in there for one more premiership." And he said, "You better be quick though. I'm running out of time." So I'm sure he'll give that message to the players again today.
Want more content? Click on the videos below and keep the momentum going. I'll catch you in the next one.